Happy Motivational Monday. This is Anya Evanson coming at you from my very own humble abode here in Åland, Finland. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about my experience skiing in the Swiss Alps last weekend. If you want to see more footage from that trip, just watch my Motivational Monday video from last week. But today I'm here to talk to you about the biggest lesson that the Swiss Alps taught me while I was there. So first of all, this was one of the scariest experiences of my life. Sure, call me a baby, whatever. But I have not been skiing in 15 years. And everyone in my family knows how to ski. So everybody I went with, my mom, my dad, my uncle, his girlfriend, they're all great. And they were like, yeah, you'll be just fine. You know, you took one ski lesson 15 years ago for 2 hours with an instructor. Yeah, that'll suffice for you to get down the slopes in the Swiss Alps, no problem. Well, on one hand, I didn't die. So that was good. I didn't even break anything. But on the other hand, I did feel very close to death multiple times. Within 3 minutes, and I'm not even kidding you, of the first day when I got my skis on, we started going down one of the blue slopes, which is supposedly the easy slope. This was supposed to be my warm-up and where I was supposed to basically relearn how to ski. Well, within 3 minutes, I was literally crawling on the ground, clinging to my skis and clinging to the mountain for dear life, not knowing what I was gonna do because there was no going back at that point. We'd already made it down the mountain a little bit of ways. There were skiers flying by going like 100 miles an hour, and we were on a very narrow part of this slope, which I'm like, how the heck did they put such a narrow, steep part of this slope in the blue zone where it's supposed to be for beginners? So I'm literally crawling, I'm laying in the snow on the ground for about 15 minutes, and this woman, God bless her heart, that I don't even know, came out of nowhere and somehow motivated me to get back up on my skis and I don't even know what she told me. I was pretty much blacking out at this point, I think. But she made me believe in myself enough that I was gonna get down this mountain okay, which I did. An hour and 20 minutes later, slowly but surely, we made it all the way down to the end of this slope. Yes, an hour and 20 minutes. And I could let all of this be very embarrassing if I let it be, especially just thinking back on me laying in the snow and everybody skiing past me, like 4-year-olds skiing past me being like, what is this girl freaking doing? But honestly, in that moment, I was more worried about just keeping myself alive and not falling off the ledge of this mountain than being embarrassed, which I successfully did. So later that day, we found a much, much smaller slope for me to actually practice on and practice my turns on with people that were actually my level. And the next day, we started the day off with actual ski lessons for me. So the trip did end a lot better than it started, but I'm still grateful for the whole thing. There were multiple moments this weekend where I thought about what I wanted to talk about in this Motivational Monday video today, because I knew that I wanted to make a video reflecting on this trip and just talk about the things that I've learned from the experience overall, because I knew I was going to learn something. I mean, I've only been skiing twice in my life. And what I want to talk about in this video is really the fear factor that I experienced and why this was more of like an uncommon type of fear, and the self-realization that came along with that fear that I experienced multiple times when going down the slopes. There were several moments where I really found myself paralyzed, where I was just standing on my skis, staring down the slope, thinking, how the actual heck am I supposed to get down there from here? And it was honestly quite an astounding feeling, because I knew that I was paralyzed and I knew that standing there wasn't going to make a difference. I knew that wasn't going to help the situation. I knew that I had to just go because there was literally no other option. But multiple times I just kind of had to stand there and had to stare down this mountain. I just had to like load up this courage or whatever I was doing to finally just freaking go. But when this happened, and especially on day 2, when I kept finding myself in these situations, a quote kept popping into my head that actually helped me out a lot and got me to move. And it was so serendipitous the way this quote came to me at exactly the right time when I needed it, because it actually popped up on my phone. Right when I had come down the blue slope on day 1, I checked my phone, and basically I have this Calm app. It's a meditation app. I'm sure you may have heard of it. And I actually don't use the meditation app itself that much anymore, but I leave the notifications on because every day at 10 a.m., they send me a little notification reminder from the app that I should meditate, but it's always some nice little quote that they send. So it says something different every single day. And on this particular day, I checked my phone and I see the little notification from Calm, and it says, You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. And I actually took a screenshot of it because I was like, wow, universe, thanks for laying this quote on me today. This honestly probably was what I needed to hear, because what it translated into in my head was, you can't stop the slopes, but you can learn to ski. So in these moments where I felt paralyzed by the steepness that was right in front of me and just staring down this mountain and having the realization that there was nowhere to go but down, I had to say to myself, okay, well, this mountain ain't gonna move for me. This ground is not gonna get flatter from me just staring at it. So I've just gotta trust myself and go. And I feel like this lesson can honestly translate into a lot of life situations where you just feel paralyzed by a task in front of you, or you just feel overwhelmed because things have just been piling up and it's just making you want to take zero action. And it might suck, it might hurt a little bit, there might be risk involved, but sooner or later, you're gonna have to go. And the longer you stand there, the worse it's gonna get. And what all this makes me think about is actually something one of my spiritual teachers, Abraham Hicks, who I listen to on YouTube every single day, says in a lot of their seminars. And what they always say is, learn to take the path of least resistance. And this is how we need to be living life. Because even if life is trying to take you down a road that's unexpected or a slope that feels uneasy and you're unsure of, resisting that road or that slope that's right there in front of you will always make things worse. I could have taken off my skis multiple times on those slopes and literally trudged back up the mountain, but instead of it taking me an hour and a half to get down, semi-painfully, it would have been way more painful walking up that mountain in my ski boots. That would take me like 3 times as long. So basically, even if it's an unexpected road, and sometimes it gets narrow and sometimes it's a little steeper than you would prefer, when momentum is trying to take you somewhere, don't resist. Just go with the flow, because what you resist persists. Choose to believe that there is an end to this downhillness and that you will get there at some point. Sometimes you can even see it. Sometimes you can actually say, hey, there's the last little slope I have to take, the last slope that I just need to make it down, and then I'm there. So realize when you're creating resistance in your life, if it's a daunting task in front of you, if it's a confrontation, or if it's a scary decision that you have to make, take a breath, say a prayer, put on your determination face and say, I got this, and just freaking go. So this is a lesson that I'm going to take with me and that I'm going to try to create more awareness around. I am going to consciously try to think about, when am I being resistant and how am I being resistant? Sometimes we probably don't even notice actually half the time we are resisting things. What am I resisting and why am I resisting it? So try this week to take the path of least resistance. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you found some value in it. I will be back next Monday with more content. So until then, I hope that you guys have a non-resistant, motivational, courageous week, and I will see y'all next Monday. Thanks for watching. Peace.